Recording.
Action.
Awesome. If you have not grabbed a red folder, go ahead and grab one for me, please. It's got several information packets in there. Alright, so inside of your folder you'll see several things. On the left-hand side is going to be your blue sheet. We like little check marks, and so we put that on there for you. It's just a checklist. So you can go ahead and check off the very first thing. It says attending the parent orientation meeting, which is today. Go ahead and fill in who your child's counselor is. I am Tina Hughes. I am actually counselor A through J with the last name. So if your last name begins A through J, you've got me. Ms. Johnson went to go get her clicker, and so she is last name Alpha K through Z. The next thing that you'll see is your course selection sheet. You're actually going to get to fill this out
hang on.
with you and your parents whenever you get home. We'll talk about each one of these.
Put your hand on there when I say turn. You turn.
The next thing that you'll see is
let me stop
basically
it.
this is going to be what our course sequence looks like, and we'll talk about each one of these endorsements as we go along. If you're wondering what some of the classes are that
I want to hold it.
Sit down. I'm also a mom, so and my husband's at the fire station. So the next thing that you'll see is our course choices. If you're unsure about what exactly a course is that we offer, go ahead and refer to the course selections, and then this will help you say, yes, this class is for me, or no, Ms. Hughes or Ms. Johnson, please don't ever put me in that class. You'll also see our PowerPoint so that you can follow along, or if that you're still confused, you can look back on this. If you missed something that we talked about, this is being recorded, and we will put it on our website, and so that's where that is. On the right-hand side, we have almost all of our organizations. They gave us a pamphlet for your kid to join. We fully believe that whenever you get to the high school, not only is academics important, but also introducing yourselves into new things and trying new things other than athletics. So we have FCCLA in there. We also have FFA, the Thespian Society, which is going to be our theater. And then also, if you want to join the high school PTO, it's also on there too.
Hi, sorry, I've been running around like a crazy person trying to make sure that we can actually show you our slides. My name is Lori Johnson. I'm one of the high school counselors. I am K through Z, so if your last name starts with a K, all the way through Z, I'm your school counselor next year. We're excited that you're here. If you notice up at the top, there's an ask a question, and then there's a little website if you want to get your cell phone out and you have a question that you think of while we had the presentation. You can go to that website and ask the question, and it'll pop up, and we'll get it answered throughout the presentation. We'll probably kind of go half and half. I'll probably go back to the back and run the slides while you talk, and then we'll take a slide break and I'll run back up here. So I'll let Tandy start.
So the very first thing that you'll see is on ours is exactly what agenda that we're going to be covering. We've got several different topics, and so we promised y'all that we would be out here fairly quickly so that we can all get to the ball game today if you're going. So transitions to the high school, athletics activities, the end of course exams, which are going to be their STAR test, and then also some questions at the end. So when your kid gets to the high school, we actually have 5 different EOCs, or end of course exams, that they have to pass. And so Algebra 1, if your kid is currently in Algebra 1 as an 8th grader, they will not have to take the Algebra 1 exam when they get up here. They'll actually take it this year, and so that'll fulfill that if they pass. Then we have English 1, that's also in 9th grade. Biology is in 9th grade. So truly, if they take Algebra 1, Biology, and English 1, they'll have 3 exams this year. Next year. The next one is going to be English 2, which is going to be our sophomore level class. And then last but not least is going to be U.S. history, and then that is going to be their junior year. So and they have to pass all of those. One thing that's different from the junior high versus the high school is going to be credits. So every year or every semester, you get a half a credit if you get a 70 or better in a class. We only offer 2 classes that are considered half a credit, and that's going to be our speech and our health. Those are the only half credit courses that we offer. So let's just say that you make a 70 the first semester in English 1 and a 70 for the second semester in English 1, you get 1 full credit of English 1, and then you have to have that to fulfill. Now remember, we take attendance every single period, and we follow the 90% attendance rule. So if you're not here for 90% of the attendance, then you may or may not get credit for that in class. So it's really important that you're also here. The fall semester, we normally try to end that in December. I don't see that our calendar is going to change that much. We do like to do that before we leave for Christmas break. That way then our mind gets to exactly focus on Christmas and the break, and we get a break, and then we don't have to come back and actually have to prepare for semester exams. The spring is super busy up here at the high school. Sometimes we only have about 70% of our kids that are actually here due to several activities with our baseball, golf, archery, softball. All of them are gone at some point. So our spring semester is January to the very end of the school. So here are exactly our graduation requirements. It looks pretty complicated, but it really and truly is not. So we offer 4 Englishes, English 1, English 2, English 3, and English 4. You have to have 4 credits of that. And even if I'm not mentioning pre-AP or AP, I'm still considering that just an English. Math is 4 credits as well. Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, and then a math elective. So we're offering a new class called TSI. It's going to take place of our foundation plan. With this one, if you pass the class or you pass the course, then you actually get TSI credit for the math class, and you'll get it at Grayson. So that's pretty important too. For science, you get 4 credits as well: biology, chem, physics, and then last but not least is your additional science credit. So you can take anatomy or physiology, forensic science, or advanced animal science could be your third one. Social studies, world geography, world history, U.S. history, remember that's an EOC exam, and then government or economics. Here at the high school, you are required to complete 2 foreign languages. The only one that we offer here at Pottsboro is Spanish, and so that is our option. Physical education, it's 1 credit. However, you can take PE or athletics all 4 years if you choose. Health and speech, the difference between that one is that if you decide to take dual credit, which is our partnership with Grayson, if you take psychology, that'll take place of your health. So your junior year is when you'll take this. And then speech, if you take dual credit, the dual credit speech also counts as here on our local campus as credit too. And then last but not least, you have to do an applied art, which is going to be either art, band, theater, or choir. And then last but not least is you need 5 elective credits, which is completely possible because we have 9 periods in our day, which is a little bit different than what you have in junior high. So here are our 9th grade course offerings that we have. So you can either choose English 1 pre-AP, or you can choose regular English 1. A difference between that is if you decide to take pre-AP, that is actually going to be on a 5.0 GPA scale, which means that you get more GPA points than in the 4.0 regular English class. Math, you can either have Algebra 1. If you had Algebra 1 in 8th grade, your choice is either geometry, or you can take pre-AP geometry. Science is biology or pre-AP biology. Social studies is going to be world geography. I do want to go ahead and let y'all mark pre-AP world geography out. We have added an AP class called AP Human Geography, which are going to be the study of humans and their habitats. So the nomads, the Indians, all of those. So you may want to mark that out, and you may want to go and put AP Human Geography on there. You have to take Spanish 1 your freshman year. For your physical education, PE or athletics, please indicate if you're a girl or a boy, And I can say that because I have a little boy whose name is Layton, sometimes a girl name is Layton too. So indicate whether or not you're a girl or a boy for us on that one. And then fine art, art 1, band, choir, or theater. Yes, ma'am.
Don't forget about them.
Oh, so when we get to the endorsement track, Dr. Matthews believes that everybody should have a computer class, and that is going to be the foundation of all of the endorsement tracks. So every kid, since y'all did not have to take BIM this year, that will be one of your requirements, is that you have to have BIM. So that will be one that you automatically have to check. It's not going to be an option. No, I don't necessarily know who that teacher is, but yes, you will have to have BIM.
Oh no, no one's there.
Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about pre-AP versus regular. And like Tammy said, it's not 100% improved yet, but we're moving in the direction towards having AP Human Geography as a freshman class in replacement of pre-AP World Geography. So that is 95% something that's going to happen, but it hasn't been completely put in the record books yet. So pre-AP are classes that have summer work. For academic classes, expect about 30 minutes of homework per subject per night. For pre-AP classes, you're going to expect about 45 minutes of homework per subject per night. The difference between a pre-AP class and a regular class is going to be, it is on a 5.0 scale versus a 4.0 scale. This is really important, and students who are here, I want you to take this into consideration when you're thinking about the pre-AP or the AP classes that you're going to take next year. Think about these questions. What are my favorite subjects? What extracurricular activities am I going to join as a freshman? I'm going to talk to my middle school teachers and see what they think about me taking pre-AP. How competitive do you want to be for college admissions? I know you guys don't think about this too much because you're in middle school, but once you hit freshman year, we're starting to think about college. We're starting to write stuff down about college. We're starting to participate in things that we're going to put on a college application, things like that. So you have to think about that stuff whenever you're considering pre-AP classes versus regular classes. I also want to make sure that you understand, you don't have to take every single pre-AP class. If you don't feel like after you ask yourself those questions that you will be successful in doing 5 or 4 pre-AP classes or 3 pre-AP classes and an AP class, because you're going to be involved in a lot of other stuff, it does you no good if you're going to go into a pre-AP class or AP class and fail, okay? We would much rather you be in a regular class and be successful than be in a pre-AP class and struggle, okay? So think about those kind of things when you're considering pre-AP. We have lots of students, lots of freshmen last year when we sat down in individual meetings with their parents and with them, where they said, I just don't think that I can handle pre-AP English, pre-AP World Geography, pre-AP Biology, and pre-AP Geometry all in the same year. There's too much other stuff I want to do. I'm not going to do English pre-AP. And you know what? They made a good decision and they're being successful, their grades look good, they're having fun, they're enjoying high school. So think about those kind of things. If you are the kind of student that taking all those is not going to faze you, plus being involved in a bunch of other things is not going to mess with you, take all of those classes. We want you to do what you want to do, but we don't want you to feel pressured into taking all of them if you don't want to take all of them, okay? Okay, what is an endorsement? An endorsement consists of a related series of courses that are grouped together by interest or skill set. They provide students with in-depth knowledge of a subject area. Parents, a lot of you who maybe had students who have graduated in the past are like, what is going on? I don't understand endorsements, that's weird. We actually are having our first class this year. The current seniors of 2018 are the first class to graduate with an endorsement. So if you've had seniors that graduated a long time ago, you're not going to know anything about this. But we offer 5 different areas of endorsements. STEM, business and industry, public service, arts and humanities, and multidisciplinary. Every student, we want you to pick at least one endorsement to graduate with. It basically is just a series, like it says, of courses that you'll take from freshman to senior year, and it'll be attached to your transcript that you send to college. It's gonna just basically steer you in a direction that you that makes you kind of shows that you're interested in a certain area. So, for example, technology. Mess with you. This is my second one, by the way, already today. Okay, the STEM endorsement. Okay, so how many of you think you might want to enter the medical field? We usually have quite a few medical field people. Or maybe engineering. Anybody want to be an engineer? Okay. Anybody want to be, an accountant or something to do with math? No? That's okay. STEM is the area that might interest you, okay, because that is where we see a lot of our science, technology, engineering, math students. That's the direction that they want to go. How STEM works is that you must earn 4 credits in a coherent sequence. So like STEM math would be algebra, geometry, algebra 2, and then you pick from the 2 credits in the last area, AP Calculus, Foundations of Math, Pre-Cal. Or science would be biology, chemistry, physics, and then you have 2 from the end, advanced animal science, AP Physics, forensic science, A&P. Also, all of you guys already have IPC, right? You're taking it currently? They don't all have to take it this year? Okay, that's something they changed and we didn't know. That's okay. We'll be okay. Anyway, so STEM endorsement requires you to just do a coherent sequence of science courses, okay? So the science one is a little bit easier to get because you can double up on science is a little bit easier than you can on math. But we do have students that's really important to them, and we have them taking they take 2 math classes in a row. Go ahead, Tini. Business and industry. This is our biggest endorsement track. We have multiple areas that you can get an endorsement on this one. We have hospitality and tourism, which gives you principles of hospitality, travel management, culinary arts, and then a practicum in culinary arts. So if you're interested in cooking, food, or anything like that, that would be a track you could look into. Also, we have financial systems, so if you think you might want to go into some sort of business-related thing, we have, that's where you get a BIM. You have principles of business, marketing, finance. It'll probably be BIM 2 or accounting, and then sports and entertainment marketing and social media marketing, which are 2 of the biggest growing, probably, job areas in the country, sports and social media. And then also we have ag, food, and natural resources, where we have like your principles of ag and wildlife, horticulture, advanced animal science. Go ahead, Tandy. Ag fab, welding, ag mechanics. So if you're interested in being out in the shop with ag, those are the areas that I would look into for your endorsement there. Also, we do have... Hello? Okay, that one. We do have our Advanced Manufacturing Technology Certificate program that we just partnered with Grayson County College on this past year. We actually have our first class taking courses right now, sophomores. They are on track to get 2 manufacturing certifications before they graduate from high school. So there is a growing need just in the country and in the North Texas area especially for certified, knowledgeable people to work in the manufacturing business. And so we are partnering with Grayson to try to get some students ready to go into those job areas as soon as they graduate from high school. So if you are a student or your student, maybe college isn't the way that they want to go, or at least not a 4-year university. The Advanced Manufacturing Certificate program might be the way they want to go. They can make some really good money in this area, and it's really actually an exciting thing. We got to go last year, and I got to go visit Denison Industries, and I was just amazed at all of the things that they do, how technical it is, how the safety that's required, the knowledge that you have to have. And so we are actually teaching, starting your sophomore year, a class on that here on campus, and then you go to Grayson after that. And then our last one is our public service endorsement, and then we have education and training. So if you might think you might be interested in a career in education, and that doesn't necessarily mean a teacher. There's a lot of other things that you can do in education. There's that. And then there's the arts and humanities endorsement, and those are easy. Fine arts, 4 years. So art, music, choir, and theater. And then finally, multidisciplinary, a 4x4. So that's 4 math, 4 English, 4 science, and 4 social studies.
Hey, Lori, one of the questions was, why are you replacing the world geography pre-AP to AP history?
Oh, and it's not AP history, it's AP human geography. And one of the reasons that we're looking into that is because we really want to have a more rigorous curriculum starting your freshman year for students to prepare them better for when they hit that AP junior and senior year, that or even they're working rigorously all throughout high school. So we're also looking at not only AP human geography, but AP chemistry as well. If you take this class, first of all, you're going to get a 6.0 GPA your freshman year. Secondly, you're going to get the potential to get college credit your freshman year. You take that class your freshman year, you take the test, you get a 3, you already have college credit, and you're 15 years old, you're a freshman. There's lots of school districts that have replaced. World geography is it's not a requirement, pre-AP world geography for the state, so it's an easy replacement. We just felt like that it would be a good transition for our freshmen to give them a little bit more of a rigorous curriculum in regards to geography and give them an opportunity to get college credit as freshmen. So, and like I said, that's not 100% into place. It's just something that we're hoping to transition to. If you'll look in, actually you don't have this year, I forgot. This is our 4-year plan. Next week when we meet with all of you guys individually, Hughes and I, whoever you meet with, we'll sit down. We have a piece of paper that looks like this, except for that it's like orange colored. And we're going to sit down and we're going to go through what is your next 4 years going to look like for you, okay? You're going to get to pick your foundation, your plan. You're going to get to pick your endorsement, and then we're going to go through and we're going to talk about what classes we're going to choose for you. And then that's basically what we'll do next week. I don't know if you saw in the previous slide, but up at the top, not only do we have a graduation plan of foundation with endorsement, but we also have one that has a performance acknowledgement, and we're fixing to talk about that. So, used to distinguish was the highest level that you could get in high school graduation. Well, that is no more. Distinguish is actually fairly easy to get now for students. You have to be on the foundation plan, you have to have 1 endorsement, and you have to have 4 credits in science, including physics, and 4 credits in math, including algebra 2. Now the highest level in the land, if you want to call it, is what we call a performance acknowledgement. And this is how you earn a performance acknowledgement. You can take 12 hours of dual credit with at least a 3.0 GPA. You can complete all of your English classes with at least a 3.0 GPA, plus take 3 levels of Spanish with a 3.0 GPA and get a performance acknowledgement. You can take an AP test. If you make an AP test and earn at least a 3, you can get a performance acknowledgement. You get commended on the PSAT, which that fluctuates every year, so that's why it doesn't have a specific score. It depends on the year for the PSAT, and that would be your junior year that you take it. Or a 1250 on the SAT and a 28 on the ACT. Or if you earn a nationally or internationally recognized business or industry certificate or license. So like we have a couple of kids who are getting a performance acknowledgement because they earned a certificate, surprisingly, a food handler certificate. If you get your food handlers in culinary, you get a performance acknowledgement because you took the test, you passed it, it's a nationally recognized license or certification, you get your performance acknowledgement. Okay, that's how that works. Here's a typical 4-year plan. Freshman year, you take English, Spanish, world geography, potentially AP and geography, a fine arts credit, algebra, biology, PE and athletics, and elective of your choice. If you'll go on there where it says PE and athletics, if you'll just also add right below that BIM, so you're probably going to have a choice. You're going to have to do BIM and you're going to have a choice between PE or another elective or a fine arts. And then 10th grade, you can see it up there, it's pretty much the same. 11th grade, and then 12th grade. We do have something new started this year that 11th and 12th graders who are in good standing, who have not been sent over to DMC or DAEP and have passed all their classes, both 11th and 12th graders get early release. Okay, 11th graders with approval by parents, 12th grade is automatic. Okay, go ahead, Tammy. Remember 8th grade counts. So if you're currently in IPC or Algebra 1, they do count in high school credit. So don't forget that. Also, is there anybody interested in going to that university in Austin, in this room? Oh, good. I don't even have to worry about it then. If you wanted to know, you have to be in the top 7% to go to that school there in Austin. But we don't talk about too much because Tammy and I neither one went there. Next week, we are inviting all students and parents. You need to schedule a one-on-one meeting to choose your graduation plan and your classes with the counselors. If you'll go to that website and sign up, there are spots, 15-minute spots, appointments. Pick the one that's most convenient for you. On February 20th, it'll be 2 to 6. February 21st, 2 to 6. February 22nd, 12 to 3 p.m. We're trying to make it where it's most convenient for you guys who I know have to work. We want to make sure that we can get you after school. We don't want to make you have to leave work too early. So if you'll go sign up, we say 15 minutes. Some are really short. Some are a little bit longer than 15 minutes. We are going to do our best to answer all of your questions. Don't feel like you're going to be rushed because we usually have short little ones and really long ones, so it's not a big deal, but 15 minutes is what it is on there. If you look on the front of your folder, the very front of your folder, that is Ms. Hughes and I's contact information. We've gone rather quickly today just because we know that the playoff game is tonight and that you guys want to get over there. Please go home, look through all this stuff, write questions down. You can email us or give us a phone call. We respond usually quicker to emails just because we're not always in our office all the time whenever it comes to answering the phone, but I have my email on my phone, on my cell phone and stuff like that, so we can answer that a little bit quicker. Go ahead and change it to me. Were there any other questions on the Google Slides? No. Are there any questions that anybody wants me to answer really quick before I dismiss you guys? Like I said, we know we rushed a little bit and there's lots and lots and lots of information. So please, 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 please email us or give us a call with those questions. We do not want your questions to go unanswered because we went a little bit quickly tonight. We are super excited that the 93 of you in 8th grade are going to be here next year, okay? Susan and I, we don't get to know the freshmen. This is usually the most we get to know you is when we meet with the individual because you guys are out and about and doing stuff. Y'all don't come see us quite as much as the juniors and seniors do. So we're excited to see you guys next week. Don't forget to sign up for an individual meeting. Give us a call if you have questions and you're dismissed. Have a great night and go Lady Cardinals.
Lori, how do you stop this thing?
I'll stop it.
Okay. Mom, you didn't move as much as Mom did.
Well, I tried not to, but thank you. Okay.